I've been in the Liberal Party for over 40 years. And I've never witnessed such a vicious pre-selection, with such distortions of the truth, Ms. Ficarra told the Sun Herald and the Sunday Age on Saturday. It almost caused me to want to leave the party from what I saw. Liberal members elected Mr Toke as their candidate for Cook in a ballot in July 2007 in which he won 82 votes, and Mr Morrison won 8. But this sparked a dispute over the claims against Mr Toke and led to Mr Morrison being endorsed as the candidate the following month. Another person who voted in the ballot, Lorraine Johnson, said she knew of claims made against Mr Toke that were false. I remember it was an unfair pre-selection. It was unfair to Michael Tok, she said. The two statutory declarations, signed in 2016 about the events in 2007, claim Mr Morrison told party members it was electorally risky to select Mr Toke because of his ethnic background and because of rumours he was a Muslim. Outgoing Liberal Senator Concetta Fierravanti-Wells left it until she was on the way out to take a stand. Alex Ellinghausen. The ballot came less than 2 years after the Cronulla riots in 2005, which pitted some beachgoers against youths with Middle East backgrounds at the beachside suburb that is part of the Cook electorate. One of the declarations was from a delegate in the pre-selection, Scott Chapman, who said Mr Morrison spoke about his rival's family background as a factor in the contest. Scott Morrison told me that, if Michael Tok were to be pre-selected, there would be a swing against the Liberal Party in Cook because of Mr Toke's Lebanese background, Mr Chapman said. Also during that meeting, Scott Morrison informed me that there was a strong rumour about that Michael Tok is actually a Muslim Sikh. Mr Chapman worked for the local Liberal effort after the pre-selection and helped Mr Morrison win the seat, gaining recognition for this in the Prime Minister's first speech to Parliament when he thanked Mr Chapman for being part of his campaign team. In his 2016 statutory declaration, however, Mr Chapman said that Mr Morrison had told him during the 2007 contest that there were numerous allegations against Mr Toke. The Sun Herald and the Sunday Age sought comment from Mr Chapman, but he declined to respond. The second declaration, Mr Toke, says a number of party members told him Mr Morrison had appealed to them to vote against him solely on the rationale that my family heritage was Lebanese, because this would hurt the Liberal campaign. He was adamant and explicit that a candidate of Lebanese heritage could not hold the seat of Cook, especially after the Cronulla riots, he said. It was also brought to my attention that in some of these meetings Morrison informed the pre-selector that he was aware of a strong rumour that I was actually a Muslim. Scott Morrison, speaking with locals at Cronulla Beach in the lead-up to the 2007 federal election, and Michael Tok. Dallas Kilponen, John Reed. This masthead has previously reported that Mr Toke grew up as a Maronite Catholic and went to Marcel Lynn College in Randwick and later attended Our Lady of the Way, a Catholic church in Sylvania, where the Liberal branch became part of his base in the pre-selection. The statutory declarations were signed in 2016 after several years of litigation, in which Mr Toke received $50,000 from News Corp Australia publications over their reports on the claims made against him, and also received $33,000 from the Liberal Party to refund his legal costs. Loading the two statutory declarations were not used in legal proceedings and appear to have been prepared to record events for media inquiries, although their contents were not revealed until this weekend in an online report by this masthead and a report in the Saturday paper. Mr Morrison on Saturday denied that he had ever warned Liberal Party members the safe seat of Cook, for which he hoped to be pre-selected at that time in 2007, could be lost because voters might mistakenly believe Mr Toke was a Muslim. Asked directly if he had said those words, or warned about Mr Toke's Lebanese background, the Prime Minister said no 3 times to questions from journalists. Mr Morrison's spokesman emphatically rejected the claims when asked on Friday if the Prime Minister had spoken in this way about his opponent's Lebanese background, or the rumour he was a Muslim. These claims are baseless and false and reflect poorly on those spreading such lies with such malicious intent, the spokesman said. The former member for the seat, Bruce Baird, who was aware of the pre-selection dispute, but did not vote in the contested ballot, said he had never heard Mr Morrison say anything racist. "I never found him racist. "I didn't find him a bully," said Mr. Baird, who employed Mr. Morrison at the Tourism Council when he led the organization in the 1990s, in a period between being an NSW government minister and moving into federal politics. There were lots of people he interacted with, but nobody said he was a bully. "I've never heard him say anything racist at all." Another former member, Stephen Much, who represented Cook in the 1990s, said he voted for Mr. Toke in the ballot after hearing from Mr. Morrison.